When I was younger, I used to have a short temper. I'd get into a fight with kids, but not unjust. I was easy to get drawn into a fight. I think that it's for better. I think that's a good thing. But there's a caveat to that. I've talked about this many times in my videos, but it wasn't until I started boxing that I learned how to channel that anger properly, channel that temper properly, and to use it. Because as a man, it's important that we learn how to channel that flame, that masculine flame that society tries so hard now to put out. I think somewhere along the line I dimmed that flame, and I'd be there living to question myself. Have I become a coward? Have I become weak? Because we're often taught that it's okay to be emotional, but then when it's time to show the emotion, it's taboo, laughed at, not appreciated, right? Leaving men completely lost. So how do we find that balance as men? How do we find a way to manage our emotions, or how do we have the ability to be emotional but also channel it in the proper, right, and positive way, so where we're not completely shutting out but not completely blowing up or doing too much? The first point that I wrote down is reignite your spirit. The warrior spirit within you is calling. Our ancestors didn't go through all this pain, all this turmoil, all this struggle for you to be tripping, for you to be weak, for you to be cowardly, for you to be like who you are now, if you're not in the level where you want to be. The fire within you is never gone. It's just under doubt and hesitation. You'll always find it in your moments of ambition and in the endeavors you choose to seek. When it comes to that masculine aggression, that anger, that toughness, that sometimes could be a good thing and sometimes could be a bad thing, but we don't know anymore, right? It's not about proving yourself. It's not about having that anger. It's not about being tough and being emotionless, and it's about using your ego in a positive way. I was in congregation, Islamic congregation, and there was a imam giving a sermon. After the sermon, we pray. During the prayer, when he was reciting, and this is not religious, but just so you know, it's going to be very interesting. When he was reciting, he started to cry because of the beauty of his, not of his recitation, but of the beauty of what was written, the words. And I instantly thought, like, okay, this man is stronger than me. I don't know why. It was just a random thought, like, this man is stronger than me. But why? He wasn't like 70 something crying in front of other men. And it's not because he cried in front of us. It's because the fire and the belief and the passion he had, the connection he had to his belief, his religion, our religion. He allowed himself to be strong enough to be in a vulnerable state in which he didn't care what we thought. He didn't care about being tough, about being a man, because we're human. And that's why I saw him as strong. I thought that this man was a perfect example of male aggression being channeled into something positive. He's a very knowledgeable, let's just say the same level as the equivalent of a old knowledgeable pastor, let's say. And let's just forget about that he even cried in front of all of us, right? Let's forget about that he cried. But it's just his passion to study and to work and to grind so hard and to find the beauty in the religion and to find the nuances and the meanings drove him to be to what he perceives as a better person and what I perceive as a strong person, through that male aggression, through that male fire of, basically the word is passion and obsession and belief in whatever you want to be in your goal and channeling it. Because it's not about being tough. It's not about being strong. It's not about proving anything or making a name for yourself. All that is just words. They're all words. Undefeated, undisputed, the best. Those are just words. It's about embodying it through your life and through your goals and whatever that means to you. Nonetheless, this video is a little bit more advanced. It's a little bit more deep. So I definitely recommend you guys to think about this point deeply. Now, the second tip that I wrote here is balance. As a kid, I'd think that having that short-tempered was what made me strong, right? I wanted to be essentially feared, to not be messed with. That was my mindset. And like I said, there's a better way to go about it. It became too much. I thought being short-tempered was a good thing, because what I saw was as short-tempered was actually standing up for yourself. But as you can see, short-tempered is the extreme of it. Because if somebody makes a yo mama joke, if somebody says something stupid, do I really have to prove and fight for that? Why? This is why I love Vinland Saga so much, because I have no enemies. Nobody deserves to get hurt. Why? Over words, over how you feel, and I think you should feel different. Now, I'm not saying to be a pacifist. I'm not saying if let stuff slide, but there's something to really think deeply about. See, because there'll be debates. There'll be stuff where maybe a kid would make a yo mama joke. Maybe a kid would call me dirty or whatever their opinion was. And I say, what'd you say? You want to fight? Yeah, I want to fight. Boom. That's how easily it was to get drawn into something. Now, as a young man, I know better. But imagine and a lot of people still have this attitude towards life. You're putting your life on the line for what? For words? Or somebody else's life on the line? Is it worth it? I don't think so. I really don't think so. That in itself, that need to prove myself, that need to be tough, that need to want to win in the eyes of another, to impose my will, is a sign of weakness. Even arguing with somebody else because you want to prove that you're right, or is a sign of weakness. That means you are not yet strong. I don't care what it is. Because why am I allowing somebody else or an external force to draw me into a situation where I feel like I have to compete? Why am I being forced to compete by somebody else instead of me choosing to do so? Why am I being forced to act away from somebody else without me choosing to do so? In which way you're letting somebody else have control over you. You're letting somebody else have control over your emotions through mere words, through mere opinions, thoughts, debates, whatever it is. That is a sign of weakness. And that's also a sign of immaturity. If you have to prove that you're a winner, if you have to tell people that you're a winner, if you have to prove your point and win and fight, you're a loser. Because through your actions, that should already be known, right? The ultimate martial art is not having to use them, because that's how true winners find success. And although it might be difficult, it is the best way. And so that's why I say one should think about this deeply. Winning is in knowing who you are, staying balanced. That fire is not just for destruction. It's not just to burn, but knowing that fire can be used as light and warmth. And that's also a vital part of life. Now, point number 3 is bring the spirit out. Now, a lot of people, because I had somebody a long time ago when I mentioned the video about warrior spirit, complain and spirits, you're calling upon spirits and that's bad. And no, we have emotions, we have passion, we are spiritual beings. I believe that, and this not to get religious, but in Islam, we come from God and to God we will return when we die. We're not going to do that physically, we do that spiritually. So yes, we are physical beings. So when I say bring the spirit out, it's your essence, who you are, your aura, your passion, your drive, how you channel that fire and how you use it properly. You're putting yourself in a situation to where you can draw from it, whether if it's physical activity, competition, standing up for yourself. Now, let me preface this because I said there's no need for competition, or I was talking against competition. I do believe competition is good, but you are in a losing game when you feel like you have to prove something to somebody. And what I meant by competing is, let's say, competing ideologies, right? That's why I always say red pill, blue pill, black pill, all that stuff. It doesn't matter. You're in a losing game once you fully on one side, because it's about taking what's useful and discarding what's not. And the person that does this is the person that wins over any ideology, any one side, any competition, because there is no idea of style. And I've talked about this before in a video, and I hope I'm not sounding like too crazy because this is super philosophical and I don't want you to get lost in the sauce. But basically, what I mean by competition is healthy competition in sport, and even that, but yeah, healthy competition, iron sharpening iron in sport, and even standing up for yourself properly, not to impose your will, not to prove that you're tough, not to prove that you're strong, not so that other people can see that you're a warrior, but you knowing that and educating somebody and giving them the chance to move accordingly and move properly around you. That's what it is. I like how I articulated that, sorry. Don't try to lock away your inner fire, no matter how much society tries to shun you, try to make you believe that it's dangerous, that you should be capable of danger, right? These are famous sayings that are said because they're true. You should be a monster, but learn how to control it. You should be capable of danger. I remember growing up, it'd be famous to say, like, a kid would be like, I'm going to karate class, I'm going to kung fu class. And then the mother would be like, oh, but I don't want you like learning how to hurt people. I don't want you learning how to fight. And the kid would answer back with, that's the point of me going, is that so that I can learn so that I'm not put in a position to where I have to use it. I really love that as a kid, and it's a great lesson that even now we can use. Bring that essence out, bring that fire out, but in the most positive ways. Set your heart ablaze and let it roar like the tiger. But in your endeavors, in your passion, in your drive, in whatever you choose to, whatever journey you choose to embark on, whatever path you choose to pursue, use it to be a better person, a great man, a great leader, or a great father. To learn to manage and deal with masculine emotions in a positive way is a superpower and is a vital part of what it means to grow up to be a man. Because the ones that cannot grasp these ideas, the ones that cannot do this, are still boys. And I'm not saying it's easy, but whoever said life in general was easy. Unfortunately, this knowledge has been lost because of things outside of our control. But acquiring this knowledge and applying it and using it to how we react and how we act and how we move and knowing it is completely in our control. We cannot grow up as a man until we do so. This video as a whole should be pondered on deeply. And that's pretty much it, man. Like, subscribe, share if I didn't say that already. Mess with the merch. Join my school's classroom, and if you want one-to-one coaching, you already know where to go. Link in the description. Mad love. Peace.